And we are here with episode 41, the last live of February. Yeah, dude.
41.
We got a bunch of people on. Hey, I'm going to do this different. Me and Bill are going to start. And then if you'd like to hop on for a minute or two, I'm going to try to cap it at an hour and a half. But after about 30 minutes, if people want to hop on, leave a comment. And I'm going to throw people on for this episode. We're going to have some fun. But I want to say thank you to all the viewers. While we're on the show, I'm going to rack up the numbers of basically season 1 of the Fun Football Podcast. Coming up for the Fun Football Podcast in March, me and Bill, and I'll be bringing some Packer fans on for a fun Packer episode. Me and Bill will do one, just us. We'll be doing some free agency stuff. I'm very excited. And I've done a mock. It's on my YouTube. I have not even promoted it. It's done really well. I'm going to be doing a Packers mock draft. And me and Bill are going to do a Packers free agency special, those two. And I'm going to hit all 8 divisions. I'm very excited. So There's more to come. But I'm going to take a break from the live episodes for the rest of the month. And I'll be back with some stuff in March and April. So This is not done. And then over the summer, I will be taking a break. I'll do some pre-recorded stuff. But yeah. So, okay, spiel over. Oh, and please go subscribe to our YouTube. I want to get that thing is starting to do really well. We have a TikTok and Instagram as well. And Twitter, obviously, and there's a Fun Football Podcast page on Facebook. If you're already listening, you probably already know where they're at. But if you don't, please subscribe. I want to try to make this thing as big as possible. And I'm going to start looking. I don't know if we're quite there yet, but I'm going to start looking at sponsors. So, yeah. But to all the listeners that have stayed with us and new ones that have come in this season, I want to say thank you. You guys rock. We wouldn't. The live episodes would suck without you guys. So.
Yes. Thank you.
We're going to talk Packers this episode. We're going to tease the free agency stuff, but all right, Super Bowl 58.
Ooh, man.
Brutal way for the 49ers to lose, man, right?
Yeah, I tell you, I just, let's start with a little something fun thing, though. I was keeping track of how many times they showed Taylor Swift, and
how many was it?
The total, I looked on the Google, my count was 11, but according to Google, it was 12. So I was pretty close. So, I didn't know if there was any bets out there.
Time it was? There was betting odds. Speaking of, me and Bill have had a conversation about it. We're going to do, I'm going to probably do 2 episodes most week in the fall, but on the episodes with me and Bill, we're going to start tossing some prop bets in because we're having fun with it. So you guys can expect more of that. So
we don't gamble though. We don't promote gambling.
Exactly. There were bets on if she was going to kiss him on the field. There were bets on how much airtime. I looked this stuff up. It was like 28 seconds was the over-under. I'm pretty sure she was over considering she tried to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, did I tell you about the coin toss? The one person that bid $1.19 million on the coin toss?
No.
Let me tell you this story. There was a guy who put $1.19 million bet, and he bet that heads would come up. And guess what came up? Heads. Wow. So that guy won $1.83 million. So he won what? 600,000. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Crazy, right?
Man, that's awesome.
I know, man.
Good for him.
Yeah. I mean, we're like,
good.
Dude.
I mean, get that money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's all on a coin flip. Dude,
what did you think of the game? Because honestly, overall, it was pretty solid. I'm impressed with the defenses. I thought it came together. It was they're not 2 of my favorite teams, if I'm being honest. I like San Fran. They're a talented team. I'm a little over KC.
Yeah.
But I was impressed with the defense. Greenlaw going out really hurt San Fran.
Yeah.
That punt where it nicked the dude, that really, really sucked.
Yeah.
That one really burned.
You know who
San Fran.
impressed me?
The extra point.
Yeah. San Fran, that Jennings wide receiver, he impressed me, dude. He played well. Mm-hmm. I mean, he made some huge plays, especially that he threw for a touchdown. I mean, so the San Fran's they got some. Even though they lost, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with for a while, man. They're tough.
Yeah, but I'm a little concerned. There was some
What?
stuff I heard, and
Mhm.
we're gonna do a full breakdown of the game because it's a Super Bowl and that's what people are here to listen to.
Yeah.
So, and we got 8 on right now, which is nice. But people, I want to know your thoughts too. Leave some comments. I'm trying to fix it on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
It's being weird. But anyways, here's my thought. If they didn't know the overtime rules, that's a
Yep.
little bit of a lack of preparation. And the Chiefs were ready. And to
Yep.
me, coaching made a huge difference here. As much as I like Shanahan, he exploited some matchups in favor of the 49ers.
Yep.
He needed to get McCaffrey out in space. It was working. It was their only thing that was working, and Jennings, and move those receivers around more. I feel like with his weapons, and they had I'm going to be honest, to me, Mahomes is the great equalizer, but they had a more talented team overall.
Mhm.
If he had been on par with Reed's coaching and gone toe for toe with him, which he wasn't able to do, it was like a really good chess match that he lost at the end. To me, like he lost it, like he was fighting him hard for the first. We'll go back to the football thing. He fought him first for the first half, and really even leading to overtime. But KC started pulling momentum away. Special teams made the difference, and they needed his brilliance that he has in the regular season. And to me, coaching made a big difference here, man. To be honest, he's starting to become the Dan Marino of Super Bowls.
Well, you said coaching.
He choked that in the Atlanta one as an OC, and now these two.
Yeah. I mean, you hit it right on the button. I mean, because coaching obviously played a factor, but I also, there's always 3 phases to this game. You got the offense, defense, and of course, special teams. And a lot of times, special teams can either win you or lose you games. And I think what really pulled KC out was that special team, especially, was it Butker, I think how you say it? The kicker kicks a Super Bowl record, 57-yard field goal, dude. I mean, that was a game changer. So
yes, that one was huge.
And the Niners fumbling on that punt. Remember, they went. Let's see. This is in the third quarter. They had 3 punts in a row, and then KC punts to the Niners. They fumble. KC recovers at the 17, and then of course, the next play, a touchdown to Scanling. So I mean, special teams, that's huge. I mean,
it really is. How do you choke on the same team with different quarterbacks and the same coach? Interesting thoughts, Renee. I mean, we're going to bring you on a little bit later. Me and Bill want to start this one because we started the season. Yeah. I can't believe we're at 41 episodes of this thing now, man. That's insane.
That's awesome, man.
It's pretty cool, right? That it's gotten into this.
Dude.
Pretty legit, dude.
Yeah,
but here's my concern.
What's that?
How are they going to do better? How are they going to do better? Greenlaw's going to be in? I mean, that makes a big difference. I get it. But how are they going to beat this Chiefs team that's likely? Now, they might lose Chris Jones. That's a huge one. Huge loss. But they're going to have Mahomes. Kelsey's going to age. That's the one thing that's going to – he's going to continue to age. But how are you going to how are the 49ers next year if they got back? Let's say it's them. It's not Detroit or Green Bay or another team or the Rams or something. Kelsey played great, though, Janae. Janae saying he should have gotten benched for tapping the coach, which, I mean, I get. He was fired up. But he saved them at the end.
Yeah. Let me chime in. The way I think the Niners improve is don't self-destruct.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, if it wasn't for their miscues on special teams and a turnover, I think they have 1 or 2 turnovers. I can't remember, but I know they had the 1 interception for sure and all that. But I'm just.
I think there was a fumble by McCaffrey and then that special teams play, which sucked. It wasn't the returner's fault. It was just bad luck. Yeah. The returner, it bounced off the other dude. He had to grab it. But I think that was the 2 big turnovers. Those were the 2 turnovers in the game. The Chiefs had their fumble too, dude. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But the good teams, even if they make a mistake, find a way to compensate. And the Niners just didn't do that. I mean, I'm really impressed, though. I was thinking this was going to be a shootout, but both defenses played pretty well, especially that first half. I mean, it was like shutdown city. And then the offenses started to come alive. But it was still entertaining, even though it was fairly low scoring. So.
That's what I thought. Purdy just got over on his yards. We missed on that one barely. Mahomes was over. Mahomes threw a pick. So both teams had 2 turnovers. That's the crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference was the 49ers never put away the Chiefs. They were up 10-0. They were up 10-3, then 10-6, and then they blew that lead, that 10-0 lead. And then they were up 16-13. They couldn't close them. 19-16, couldn't close them. 22-19. They continued to not close the Chiefs out. And this was that type of Chiefs team that's going to hang in there with their defense, and you can't let them hang around.
No.
Hey, Jason, it was a good game till the end. I agree.
Yeah.
And Janae said both teams were a hot mess. They kind of were. I mean, the 49ers completely had the Chiefs number in the first half.
Yeah.
Really, it was 10-0. They only got that field goal at the end of the first half. Their probability of winning was like at one point 70%, almost 80 in the third quarter. They bottled McCaffrey down.
Yeah.
It just was little things with the coaching and little things that Mahomes was able to do later in the game. Like, so the first half, they had Mahomes under duress.
Yes.
What happened in the second half?
Well, that's just it. To me, it seems like either Mahomes was just better at evading the defenders, or they overcommitted. I mean, so I don't know.
It's hard to chase a dude for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it is. They got tired.
It's so hard. And you got to put him on the ground, and you can't let Kelsey beat you. And as good as Warner is, Kelsey is such a smart player. He can't beat you physically as much anymore, not consistently, but he can beat you with his intellect combined. He's just smart enough. So let's go to a couple comments. Jason liked that touchdown pass from Jennings to CMC. That was sweet.
Yep.
49ers team should have had the whole game. Offense had turnovers. I mean, come on. Both did. I totally agree. And didn't it just feel like the type of game that you're watching halfway through and you're like, by like the end of the third quarter, you're like, if they don't get ahead by more than 7, Mahomes is going to win it.
Yeah. Yeah. It felt like the Niners were hanging close, but I was just like, and not I'm not knocking Purdy, but he's a little more obviously inexperienced. Mahomes has been there at the big dance before. He knows what to expect. You just felt the advantage was KC if San Fran didn't get more of a lead there. And sure enough, Mahomes did his magic again. Now, I want to say this too. I love the fact of the new overtime rules, not where before, where you just flip a coin, whoever got the coin toss won it, would get the ball, march it down, kick a winning field goal, and game's over. I love the new point in there where, that's exactly what San Francisco did. They got a field goal, and at least now with the new rules, KC got one possession, and they took advantage of it. They took that one possession, marched it down the field, got a touchdown, and won the game. So, I mean, to me, I love that because now it's not decided by coin toss. So,
which I completely agree. I like it a lot. I like that. Janae says Steven showed up the whole game. The 49ers needed their offense to step up.
Yeah.
What did you make of the coaching in the game? Because to me, I felt like Reed just ran circles around. I'm adding up all of our numbers so I can break it live how many views we've got. So I'm adding them up while we go. But I wanted you to have the number as of now. I'm not adding this episode, but I wanted you to have the full number. So I'm doing it while we go. Hopefully my dad's going to watch in, and then Med's going to hop. He's already in the background. He's going to hop in a little bit. Yeah. In about 15 minutes or so. I told him like 20, 30 minutes. Okay. Well, I want to get to commercials and all that stuff in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
But what did you make of Andy Reid versus Shanahan, that matchup?
I mean, both great coaches, obviously. You got to start with that. I mean, maybe there was some calls back here and there. I mean, I just... Are you saying like exactly, like play calling, or what do you want me to get into with that?
Yeah, to me, like my dad says the secondary made a difference. Special teams, the D-line stood up. Warner played well, but got a beat on a big Kelsey play, and Mahomes willed it. To me, I wanted to see a little more creativity. I liked what Shanahan did, but they needed a spark. They needed someone to rile the team up. They didn't feel as well prepared.
Yeah.
small differences I noticed. Like he had a good script in the first half, but that's when I want to see halftime adjustments. And the Chiefs felt like they made those halftime adjustments. And I'm not saying the 49ers played a poor game by any
Right.
means, but I just feel like Andy Reid proved his mettle there, and Shanahan continues to be ringless. And he's
Right.
gotten too close too many times. He's had 3 times he's had a lead in the Super Bowl by double digits, and he's lost. That is not a good look. I'm like, can he win? I'm wondering, can this dude win it? I really am.
Well, yeah, and you good point. I mean, that's the thing. You're up, you got a lead, double digits, and then the second half turns it all right around. What are you making adjustments of what you already did because it was working and now you're changing it? Or, I don't know. I mean, that doesn't make any sense sometimes, because normally you think what you're doing in the first half gives you that 10-0 lead, and then the second half, what do you just abandon it? I mean, that it is mind-boggling sometimes. I don't know.
I completely agree. What did you think of the commercials? Do you have any favorites?
You know what? It's so funny. We were actually at my father-in-law's in Whitesboro, Texas. So I really didn't pay attention to all the commercials a whole lot. I was mainly keeping a lot of stats. I mean, I'd have like 2-3 pages of just writing down what event happened and stuff like that. So I was probably mainly concentrating on that instead of the commercials. What did you come across as far as some of them?
Well, I was just happy the Deadpool 3 thing happened. That made me super excited.
Yeah.
I liked the Schwarzenegger one. That one was pretty funny. I'm trying to remember. I liked the Michael Cera one. That one cracked me up. I wasn't paying so much attention later in the game because I was kind of wearing down a little bit. But I was tired, but I was
I like the Deadpool though. The Deadpool was good. I did see that. I remember the Deadpool one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That one was sweet. I like to start with that. I like the other. I was sad there's no Godzilla Kong 2 commercial. Like I thought there would be. I was like, what happened? But because it comes out in March. But they did a Kung Fu Panda 4. They did. Oh my gosh, what else did they do? They did Kung Fu Panda 4. They did Wicked for the end of the year. They did. They didn't do Joker or Venom yet, but I'm not surprised because those are kind of late in the year. So is Wicked. But they also did Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. There wasn't a Furiosa one. There's Despicable Me 4, I think. There was Inside Out 2. So all the big animated ones. I think Jason says, I think if MVS doesn't score that first touchdown, the Chiefs don't win that game in OT. I agree.
Yeah, yes. I mean, take 7 points away. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I know why, Isaac. Why? Because I was in Sherman. We left at halftime so I could make it back to see the end of the game, the rest of the end of the game. So that's why I missed all the commercials. So, but I did keep track. I did keep track of, and I was so close. I Googled it. How many times they showed Taylor Swift?
Okay.
And
what'd you get?
I was only one off. I wrote down 11. But according to Google, it was 12. So I don't know. I mean, if you trust Google or not. But anyway, I was only one off, dude. So.
Did you do good on any of your squares or anything?
No, man. My numbers were San Fran had to end with a 1, KC with a 4, 1, 5, San Fran 2, KC 1, 8, 0, 4, 1. So no, they were, no. I needed touchdowns, not, field goals and zeros and stuff. But oh well. It is what it is.
Yeah, mine was good either. That comment. Ned's ready to hop in, but not yet. In a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. I'm trying to add up all our numbers for you, so we've got them. Okay. So, do you think the 49ers get back? I got a couple more questions for you and a couple of fun football things.
Yeah.
We're good.
I think
I got a couple more things. I want to know what he was talking about in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what he meant, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
But it might have been the thing I just made, maybe the Shanahan thing. That was from Med. Is Shanahan the Dan Marino? That's coming from Med. I said it on the previous episode. So that's from Med, and I kind of like it because I agree. I'm like, is he becoming the Dan Marino of this generation because he's getting there and not winning rings? So that was from Med. I don't know if that's what he meant. We'll bring him in a few minutes.
Well, yeah.
Do you think San Fran gets back or not?
I do. I think Purdy, I mean, he's going to take this learning experience. I mean, he played, I think, fairly well. I mean, the San Fran has got a bright future with Purdy. I think. I mean, he seemed poised in there in the pocket. Yeah, a few mistakes, but for overall, I think he did really well. And if they keep, the team that they have, I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with, especially in the NFC. They'll be a top contender. So,
here's my concern.
uh-huh.
And I'm almost done adding up numbers. I wanted to break it on the episode, and I made a goof. So I didn't want to do this live, but the little one was pretty needy tonight. So when I had work late, so I don't think either team makes it back to the Super Bowl next year. He said, "Take your giant time, gentlemen, cook." So when we're ready, maybe at the 30-minute mark, we'll bring them in. I agree with Jason. I don't think either team gets back. I think it's going to be Cincinnati, somebody else. I think it's going to be. I just don't see this. 3 in a row has never happened for a reason. In the Super Bowl era, it's never happened, and I don't think this Chiefs team, as good as their defense is, they've got a lot of stuff on offense to do. They've got to figure out Chris Jones. But my concern for the 49ers is those offensive weapons are in their prime now, but once they pay Purdy, they're not going to be able to afford them.
Right. And you're right. You're going to lose a lot with free agency. They're not going to be able to hold on to everyone. Do we know, and we can break this down maybe later too, another time, but how many of the KC, the Chiefs still under contract, or are there a lot of free agents that are going to be, at the end of this year and stuff? So, I mean, that'll be because if they're still under,
we'll hit that in a minute.
We will, because I think that's a big area right there. So
I agree. I'm almost got it. I'm on the last couple. What do you think? Do you think the Chiefs do you think they get back?
You know what? That's why I asked that question. How many are still under contract? If they have the majority of their nucleus that they have right now in defense and offense, Mahomes, as young as he is, what is he, 24? 20 something? 28. Dude, the guy is just, he's got years on him, and he's just playing like lights out already. I mean, the guy just, I don't know. I can see him easily go back again.
I think I messed up on the number because one of them was supposed to be over 1,000, and I re-added it. I think I missed some stuff when I was at work. But total episode views of the Fun Football Podcast.
Yeah.
This is my number. I think it's higher because I think one of them was 1,000. So we're going to remember the first. We've only had 40 episodes. The first 20, none of ours cracked. None of them cracked 50 because they were audio only. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we've only been video for the last 19 episodes.
Wow.
And we have just episode views.
Okay.
And Med and Jason got some stuff. And then I've got some more fun stuff for you guys.
Okay.
We are at 12,298 episode views of the Fun Football Podcast.
Wow.
And short reels, this proves the short reels. That's a great number.
Dude.
Total video views of the Fun Football Podcast with that mock draft episode that I haven't even promoted on anything yet. And guys, I did an NFC North. I've only really talked about it once on here. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. We'll hit that comment in a second. So we're at over 12,000 video views, which I think is amazing.
That's wow.
But all the reels, we're at almost 110,000 now.
What?
We've just cracked 100, but we're at almost. I'm gonna re-add them. But over the last few days, I was hitting like 2,000 or 3,000 a day. I think we're at 110,000 total. That's why I'm like, maybe we can get some sponsors. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey,
but
you know what?
Just two video views, only 40 episodes. Dude, I just did the math, and I actually think it's higher, and it's going to be with this episode. It'll probably be closer to 13,000. But that's with 40 episodes now. And maybe I'll still have hair by the time we get sponsors. but no, man, I just did the math. 12,298. Wow. So that's verified at least. Now I've spammed it in some groups and I've listened to it a ton. But I want to say thank you to everyone for season 1. We're gonna do a few more episodes, but this is the last live one for a while. So thank you guys. 12,000. I just did all the math. Show you guys. I have a sheet of paper. I wanted to add them up for everybody. Hopefully one day I don't have to do that, but they're all over. It's all over everything. So it's going to go to TikTok.
Everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so I'm done. I'm done doing that stuff now. So let's hit the comments. Snead and Chris Jones are free agents. That's key,
Ooh,
and they have to pay Mahomes. So
Yeah.
I'll pull up Spot Track
okay.
right now.
Dude, Chris Jones. Yeah, man. Free agent. Okay.
He's going to demand over 30. I just don't know if they can even do it. I really don't.
Yeah,
So
that
Chris
would be.
Jones is going to ask for 30. He thinks it's going to be Packers Ravens. I just don't believe.
Ooh.
Here's my only problem with that. I actually could see the Packers maybe if they can surprise. I don't believe in Baltimore. How are they going to be better than they were this year, Jason?
Yeah.
That's my only concern with that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if Lamar Jackson can get it done. Like, against Mahomes, can he beat him? Because the only guy I've seen do it so far has been Joe Barry. Or, sorry, that's terrible. Not Joe Barry. I meant Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, yeah. Burrow.
And Tom Brady, and that's it. They're the only two. And Tom Brady's retired, so there's only one active dude to beat him in the playoffs. Josh Allen hasn't even done it.
Well, if KC loses some maybe key players due to free agency or whatever, then that could open the door, though. I mean, you never know. So
Mahomes is going to count for $58 million on the cap hit, 59 almost. They're going to have to restructure him. I don't know how you push more money into the future. I don't know what they're going to do if they're going to extend him. He had a 10-year deal. I don't know what they're going to do there because everyone thought it was a great deal, but they pushed money into future years already. So I don't know what
total? Is it 180 something for the whole total? What is the big figure?
What's the cap?
What's the cap?
The salary cap? Let me pull that up.
Maybe
salary cap.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, we're going to bring them in a few minutes.
Per team. I can't remember what the total, but
it's going to probably be about 240, maybe a little bit over.
But he's already
220. It was, he said around 210. It was 225, and it typically increases 10 to 15.
So Mahomes is already going to be 27% of your overall. I mean, that's going to be crazy, dude.
He was 24% of the cap this year, but yeah, it's gonna balloon up, and he's going to be closer to 30 to, like closer to 30% of their cap. And
that's going to be hard to keep.
He was.
Yeah.
So Thuney was 27 million on the cap hit. Jawan Taylor is 25. So that's two of their linemen. Kelsey's 15, but they have to keep him.
Wow.
Justin Reed is 14 mil. He was great. Scantling's 14. They're going to cut him. Save 12 mil. Omenahu, at some point the Ravens have to get over the hump. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, Jackson's got to actually do it. I would think so, but I would think Josh Allen's going to get over that hump before he does. But that's just me. I just don't have a lot of faith in Jackson in the playoffs. It's kind of like Dak, man. He just did not get it done this year. And that was a golden opportunity. As good as this Chiefs defense is, that was a golden opportunity, and he really goofed it. I'm at the point with Lamar. I'm gonna have to see it in the playoffs to believe it. That's where I'm at. Seriously. So
I mean,
Bill, I'm gonna bring people in a few minutes, but I want to let you cook for a minute. What do you want to see the Packers do this offseason? Let's tease it. Get Janae really excited. We'll bring her in and Matt in a minute.
You know, as much as the Packers don't go after any free agents, I would love if there's a wide receiver, a veteran wide receiver bring a veteran wide receiver in here.
So here's what I'll do. We got to talk a little Packers tonight. My final Super Bowl thoughts really quick. Very good game. I'm a little disappointed. There was some unlucky stuff for the 49ers. They played a good game. But this proved, as good as Mahomes is, Reed and Spagnuolo are on another level, and Shanahan couldn't quite match him. He had the weapons to get a little more. They needed to get a little bit more out of their offense, and they could have against this Chiefs team. There were matchups to be had. I was watching. They were getting McCaffrey in space. This is what I was talking about the coaching. They could have got McCaffrey in space. They hit Jennings. I liked it. But they could have moved. They could have used Debo as a runner a little bit more. They could have moved him, use more motion. And those corners were traveling with them. There's not much you can do. But they could have tried to set up some picks or some trip stack situations to get Janae and Med, we're going to bring you guys in a second. They should have done more trip stacks. They did a few of them to try to get a matchup they wanted. I wanted to see more of that. Exploit the weaknesses of the Chiefs D. I would have liked to see them run at them, but it wasn't working. So if it's not, I get it. But I would have liked to see a little bit more attempts at running. I want to just sticking with the run.
I'm agreeing with they should have pushed McCaffrey, given him the rock some more. I really do. Or swing passes out of the back.
We did this all year. Let's just go to the pure stats. Purdy played a good game. He actually didn't have a pick. He didn't have a fumble. Mahomes did have a pick, so it's ironic because Purdy didn't have a turnover and Mahomes did. And then both running backs, McCaffrey and Pacheco, fumbled the ball. Neither of them cracked 4 yards a carry. They gave McCaffrey 22 rushes. So honestly, maybe don't actually. I thought they could have ran him more, but honestly, I kind of wanted them to throw him the ball in space. That's when he was scary. He led them with 80 yards receiving. I think that's where they should have kept going. Like that play in overtime, that was awesome. The high step, that was great. But dude, Ayuk, they needed to try to get him the ball a little more. The problem is the Chiefs' 2 corners are special. Kittle was banged up, which sucked, but that was a matchup they should have exploited. And I just want to see a little more creativity. It felt like it just felt to me like the Chiefs overplanned for this, and the 49ers, not that they underplanned, but they were relying on their talent. And it almost burned them against Green Bay and Detroit, and it burned them in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs were a slightly inferior talented team, so they made up for it with intelligence and preparation. That's what Kelsey did. That's what Mahomes did. As much as athletically gifted as Mahomes is, he wore him out. And Kelsey didn't beat him with his speed. He beat him with his smarts because he's not fast enough to beat Fred Warner anymore, but he's smart enough to.
Well, and
that
that's
inside leverage play at the end. He made him think he had inside leverage, burned him outside. That was so smart.
Well, a lot of times you hit around the point. Again, scheming is a lot of to this game. If you can get the players in the right spots, you don't have to be the speediest guy. You just have to know where the holes are and get to those holes, and then that way, your quarterback can deliver the ball to you on a timely basis. I mean, again, this league is speed, which is great, but a lot of times, though, if you can, like I said, either scheme or, utilize because the route running and things of that nature, you can, get away with a little bit of if you have less speed, so that kind of thing. So
I just wish, I feel like if they'd been as prepared as the Chiefs or had the adjustments that the Chiefs had, even close, I think they might have won this game. Because I think that they had the better team. The Chiefs, though, had the better coaching, the better quarterback, and the better defense, and that wins you Super Bowls. They didn't win by running the rock. It was Mahomes. He made superhero plays that he needed to make, and he actually played a pretty pedestrian game plan. That's kind of what they needed from him this year. And a lot of it, he made some plays with his legs. They had one deep shot, but a lot of it was methodical, and that's how you win games like this. It's it's a silly analogy, but can you Madden it better than the other team? And they were able to. So I want to say thanks to my dad and Jason Med for hopping on in a minute. But I got one last thing for Bill, maybe 2, and then we're going to bring people on. All right, bud. Anything you want to say? I'm going to do this Packer thing, but anything you want to say to the fans before we bring everybody else on?
Hey, again, everyone out there, me and Isaac are doing this just for fun. Obviously we're not professionals, but you guys are out there listening, taking time out of your busy evenings and stuff. Again, we can't thank you enough for listening. So appreciate it a lot.
So I think, like I said, for the fall, I think we're going to move this show. The one with me and Bill is going to be Thursday. Good job, Bill. Thanks, Dad. Bill's a professional. We all know Bill is. I think me and Bill are going to do some pre-recorded episodes in the fall, and we're going to rotate. We're going to do an episode, me and him, and unless we just rock our picks, then we'll do a live one and bring a third or fourth on, like Med, my dad, or some other people from the podcasting community.
And we definitely need your help for doing the picks because, man, me and Isaac, we just can't pick them, so we need your help, guys.
I thought we did way better this year, and now we know to go lock them in. So if we do our pre-recorded episode, I'm just going to be like, Bill, make sure you have your computer. Go lock in the picks. And just go lock them in right away. Seriously, every episode. That's going to be, I'm going to be like, dude, go boom. Go do it. Okay. All right. I'm pulling up Packers stuff, and then we're going to bring them on. All right. My dad says, LOL. Thanks for listening, Dad. Med, you're coming in a second. Okay. So we think we've played this game. I think that the Packers are going to cut Bakhtiari. I think you
Yes.
agree.
Yep.
Or trade. I could see a trade.
I hope we get something for him. Yeah.
What if the Jets want him? Give him to Rodgers.
Wouldn't that be? Oh, that would.
Yeah, and then they can try to trade for Devontae Adams and recreate the Packers and suck over there, because I don't see that ever working out. I'm sorry.
No.
If the Jets are going to keep just Jude, if they're going to keep with this Aaron Rodgers crap, go all the way.
Yep.
Seriously, do it. Get Bakhtiari. Keep overpaying Lazard, and he doesn't even play for you guys.
Yep.
Go out and trade for Devontae Adams if the Raiders are dumb enough to let him go. And if they get Devontae, that could be legit with Wilson and Breece Hall.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, but I don't believe in Rodgers at age 40 off an Achilles. I got to believe it to see it. Kind of like Lamar Jackson. You got to prove to me, or Dak. You got to Lamar at least get some credit. He got to the conference championship. But I got to see it in the playoffs to believe it, and I don't believe it. I'll never believe the Cowboys are going to do it until they're there, and I still won't believe it.
Aaron Rodgers still has an arm. I mean, he's older now. Maybe doesn't have as much zip as he does, but he's still got a good arm. I mean, he's a lot better quarterback, than some of the quarterbacks, in this league. But you'd have to give him an offensive line, and if you give him another weapon, like you got Wilson already, but if you gave him a Devontae or something like, the Jets would be pretty legit. I mean, they would be contenders, I would say. So.
Okay, I got a free agency list for you. Ready?
All right.
I know that's what everybody's thinking, and I agree they should be better because they've got a defense, but I don't think I believe in Rodgers. He didn't do it in the playoffs with us. I don't see it over there. I'd be absolutely shocked if they went on a Super Bowl run. Yeah, playoffs, maybe they win a playoff game. I can't see an actual title run. I think the Bengals are going to be back. There's a lot of teams that I'm afraid of in the AFC. CJ Stroud, the Texans are going to continue to improve, I think. I don't know if it'll be next year they make a title run. But I think like the Packers, they're sending you. I don't believe in Jacksonville anymore, but you've got, Indianapolis's coach is good, but you've got the Raiders on the come up. You got the Bengals coming back. You got a lot of teams.
AFC's tough. AFC's tough.
The Chiefs. You've got a lot of teams. The Bills are going to retool. You got a lot of teams in the AFC.
I think the AFC may be tougher than the NFC, to be honest with you.
I agree. All right, I'm going to give you some lists, and we're going to say if we want the players. We're going to do this in like 5 minutes or less, so we can get the other people on. Okay? Yes. And you can say as long as you want when you're ready. We'll say our dues, and we'll be back in March. Okay. Yep. You're going to like these quarterback names. Kirk Cousins is a free agent. We don't want him for the Packers. I'll give you some names for the Packers. Saquon Barkley.
You know what? Man. If we get rid of Dillon and we keep Jones, dude, I would like. You know what? I could see us do a Barkley in there. I could see that.
So we've got $7 million right now. We cut Bakhtiari. We got $20 more coming. Okay. Hey. We're going to have to restructure Kenny Clark, or I don't know, figure that one out. I don't know how we're going to do it. But we've got Alexander. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to cut him. We're going to have to push some money to future years, which sucks. And we're probably going to have to give Love an upgrade. So I don't know how much money we're actually going to have. But if they're smart here, we'd have a ton of money next year. The problem is this year there's so many free agents. If we can get smart here, Eckler, I don't really like Eckler though, Med. Do you?
Eckler's okay, but I don't think he's, your 1-2 punch kind of guy. But
I think I'm wondering if he's lost a step, dude. I don't know. Jenkins, we're going to keep. If we cut Campbell, we only save $3 million. We only save a few mil if we cut Preston, but we save money for future years. So I kind of want to get rid of one of those guys. Where I think we're going to save a ton of money is if we restructure Kenny Clark. We get the 20 from Bach, and then we restructure Aaron Jones to try to bring him down to like 10. That's like $40 million right there. We might have to push a little bit more to future years if we want to go get a free agent or two. But running backs, I'm seeing Josh Jacobs. I'd say no after that down year. Derrick Henry, at his age, I like it, but I know he's 30. But with Aaron Jones, if they draft a running back, I think Henry might have enough left in the tank for 1 or 2 seasons for a Super Bowl run. He wants to get a ring. He's an all-time great.
Yep.
He's going to make the Hall of Fame. I don't like Eckler. I don't like Pollard. Swift, I kind of like. Dobbins, no. Zach Moss is underrated, and if he was on the right deal at running back, I like it. Zeke and then Singletary, but I think the Texans will re-sign him. At receiver, T. Higgins.
Ooh, dude, man. That would be awesome.
But the problem is these guys are going to cost 25 to 30, so we've got to clear a ton of space. I would love it. Michael Pittman.
That's another good one. Yeah, we could do that
Mike
one.
Evans. Even at his age, I like the Mike Evans one.
He's a sure-handed receiver. Yeah, I like that.
Odell Beckham, I think, is a little bit too old. I'm not sure about Ridley. I like Marquise Brown if the Cardinals are stupid enough to let him go. I haven't brought this one up yet. I like that one. I could see it. And then that's pretty much it at free agency receiver. But there's so many guys in the draft, I could totally see it. So
how much money do we still owe on Jordan Love's right now?
So here's the deal with Jordan Love. He's under deal right now for this year. And we're going to do all this in a full free agency special, people.
Yeah.
We're going to probably do it. I think we're going to do a pre-recorded, but we'll probably I want to come on after free agency starts and do a live recap one. So we'll be back with all this for sure. But Love has $13 million on his deal right now.
Okay.
For this year. So I think they've talked about upgrading his money even this year. So he might get a big bump. That's going to chew a lot of our cap up. But he's going to get paid. If it doesn't happen this year, it's going to happen for next year. So it's tough.
See, I'm just wondering, and we'll get more into this, but I'm just thinking if they could restructure his, a longer contract, break up that money now, then that'll free up money for this year, next year. That's
Well, actually, this year it would take away money, but it would be better long term for us to sign him because $13 million is cheap for a quarterback. You know that.
Oh yeah,
that's cheap. Like that's a rookie deal basically. He signed a really cheap deal with us this year. So if we upgrade him this year, and it starts now, it's going to chew. The problem is it's going to chew into this year's cap, but it's going to help us for future years because we might get him locked up. And it's slightly, if he plays and balls out again, his money is just going to go up.
But don't forget, we have a lot of draft picks this year too. From the Aaron Rodgers trade and everything, we could start utilizing those and maybe trading either for more or other players. Trading up and getting.
I would prefer that, even though we need some depth on defense and offensive line. I like that idea. Okay, I'm going to hit a couple comments. We're going to do defensive players.
Yeah.
We're going to say one last thing and bring people in. Okay. Shot says he'd go Pittman over Higgins. Love is getting paid for his long-term $38 million per year. Dude, if we got him at 38, I'd sign him today.
Yeah.
I think he could ask for 45 to 50. So 38, I would do it. Do it.
Yeah.
If he would sign a 4-year, 160 extension right now, I'd give it to him.
Yeah.
I agree with Jordan Love will be 5 years, 175. Ooh. I would do that. And that's only 35 a year. If they could get him guaranteed in 125, I would do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to understand how much quarterbacks are going through. Do you guys want the top quarterbacks?
Yeah.
The top quarterback salaries. Joe Burrow's at 55.
Sheesh.
Let me get these up.
While you're doing that,
actually, before we do that, let me get a couple of defensive guys, and then we'll bring Men and Danae on.
I just hope we can get
a cheaper that contract. I agree.
Yeah, I hope we can get it cheaper so we can free up some money. So yeah.
So there's some offensive linemen out there too, and there's some tight ends, but we don't need a tight end. No. And honestly, other than Tyron Smith, if we were going to go that route, which I probably wouldn't, or Trent Brown, I like our offensive line mostly. We could use some depth. Maybe a replacement at center or center. Guard. I think it's right tackle.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, no, actually, no, it's guard. It is guard because I like Tom and Walker.
Yeah.
And so it would be, and we got Jenkins, so it would be the center of the right guard spot. Yeah, you're right. So, okay, defense. Chris Jones is going to be a free agent if the Chiefs don't resign him. So we're just making predictions because we don't know who's going to get resigned. Christian Wilkins is available. Leonard Williams for the Seahawks is available. Manata Buke is available for the Ravens.
Okay.
Fletcher Cox is getting up there, so I don't know about that one. Edge defender Josh Allen for the Jaguars.
Ooh.
Brian Burns for the Panthers. They're both studs. Daniel Hunter is also a stud for the Vikings.
Really? Yeah.
Chase Young for the 49ers, who made some plays in the Super Bowl. He takes plays off, but he's got talent. Leonard Floyd, Zadarius Smith, the old one. We could bring him back on the cheap.
That would be
Clowney, Bryce Huff, Renard. There's a lot of edge defenders in free agency.
Wow.
Some good ones, too.
That's
linebacker. Luvu for the Panthers. They had one of the best defenses in the league this year. Levante David Jordan Brooks, and Bobby Wagner from the Seahawks.
Wow.
So Lavonte David's available, and Devin White, and Patrick Queen.
Man.
And Burks from the 49ers.
If the price is right, man.
So many if we can be smart with this.
Yes.
So that's linebacker. At corner, Jalen Johnson for the Bears and Snead for the Chiefs and Fuller for the Commanders. Awuzie for the Bengals, Gilmore for the Cowboys, and Moore from the Colts. You got some guys.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine having Alexander and Snead?
Oh my gosh.
Alexander and Snead.
Valentine. I think Valentine could turn into a lockdown corner. I really like him. And Valentine's not bad either. I really like Valentine, though. He's a stud. Yeah. I think he's a stud in the making. Oh, my gosh. Our pass D would be ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
If they went strength on strength and got a receiver or corner, I don't know. I mean, we really need to improve our run D, but
we do. Yeah, that's
Antoine Winfield Jr. for the Bucks is available. And if the Bucks are dumb enough to let him go, that would be one I would love if they signed him. If we go defense and sign that guy or one of the other Bucks kids that's out there.
Yeah. Well, and don't forget, I think switching to a 4-3 defense, I think it's going to help our run game too. I think, going for that.
What if we trade some of our draft picks for players like that? Would be, dude, I would like that. And I agree with Shots. I would front load it. Okay, we're at 45 minutes, a little bit longer than I wanted to go. But, Bill, I'm going to bring people on. I hope you can cut up with us for a few minutes.
Yeah, got it.
Buddy, I got to say thanks for this season. Like I said, we got more, but those numbers are kind of stupid. Like 12,000. And
that's
honestly,
awesome.
I'm going to add up. I'm going to be a nerd this week when I'm testing at the end of the week. On Friday this week, I'm going to go add up all the reels. The Facebook reels have been stupid. But I actually think, I already know we're over 100. I think with this week, with that YouTube video, I think we're getting close to 110,000.
That's awesome.
So that's just this show. So, guys, and I haven't done this enough on this show, please check out Shots from the Sideline. He's also on Podcast Boys Network, our Love Child show that I'm going to bring him on right now to pitch.
Yep.
Hold on. So there's Med.
There's Mr. Med.
To pitch our Love Child show. And Janae, and we're going to talk about her new show that's going to be premiering soon. Mine and Meg's show Blitz is also, dude, I'm going to have the numbers on those views, but they've been exceptional for the first few episodes. I think we're over almost 3,000 in the first 5 episodes. Wow. And we've got an episode tomorrow, so that's pretty sweet. But those are our shows on Podcast Boys Network, so we'll have Queen of the Premiere with Janae coming out soon. Meta Shots, his show. I've been on a couple I don't know, 2 or 3 times. That's on Tuesday nights. That's tomorrow night before Blitz. And then we have When the Blitz Hits the Fan. So that's our 3 shows. Janae's got a new one, Queen of the Premiere. And then we also have, his name is Lincoln, American Football Network. That's 5. And then his buddy, the Football Experts, also on YouTube. So we currently have 6.
Wow.
And they're all on our network. So I hope you guys check out the other shows on the Podcast Boys Network. And I got to say really quick, Bill, you've been awesome on this show, dude. I've appreciated, it's been so much fun because we used to just talk football for I don't know, an hour every week doing our picks. So I like that it's turned into this. And Med, for starting the network and all the work that you've done behind the scenes.
Yes.
I want to say thanks on the air, dude. I appreciate it.
No problem, dude. No problem.
Thank you.
And I'll stop texting you on the weekends about stuff.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
He's like, hey, no. We're going to try to get Janae show up by the end of the month. We haven't set a date yet, but soon.
All right.
And that'll be, Janae, we decided Wednesday nights, right, Janae?
Wednesday nights?
I believe that's what we decided.
Okay, cool.
What time did we decide? Was it 8 p.m.?
Yes.
8 p.m. I don't think this week, but we're my target next Wednesday. We'll see.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, send me.
Honestly.
All right, cool.
It's going to be an entertainment show, Bill. So I'll probably pop on with you. She's got a ton of ideas. We're really excited. I'm going to in the off season. Occasionally, I will hop on there. I want to cut up some movies with her. I'm super stoked for Dune 2. That's going to be legit.
Oh, okay.
Ned, I haven't even gotten to talk to him about Deadpool and Wolverine yet. He's a huge Marvel fan. His other
I
role is
love
all
Marvel.
Marvel.
Marvel too. Yep.
I hope
Also,
that movie's good.
I'm super excited about Quiet Place Day One. I'm really excited
Yes.
about
That so did John Krasinski, he didn't direct that one, he wrote it though, right?
Yes. Well, I think he
That's really
actually
cool.
is directing this one. So,
Okay.
but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that one.
That's in June, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me and my wife were watching like all the series of Agents of Shield and going in chronological order with the movies and the shows and all that kind of stuff. So
It's
Yeah.
really cool to do it that
it
way.
is.
So Quiet Place Day One, Michael Sarnowski was a director, and he did the screenplay, but he got the story help with Krasinski. And then, man, you got Laputa Nyong'o. Oh my gosh, she's
Amazing.
in Us. She carried that movie, and that movie was fantastic. I could talk movies all day, man. That one was awesome. But you got a cast in that one, and I always wanted to see how it started. They tease it in Quiet Place Part 2. They show the beginning of it for like that 15-minute scene. So this will be fun. But yeah, that's all the stuff happening at Podcast Boys Network. All right, me and Bill were just talking Packers free agency. I don't want to leave Bill out or Matt out and not talk Bears. We will.
No. We can do Packers. I'm fine with it. This is your show, baby.
Hey, and also I want to, when you do your Bears one, I want to hop on. I love talking free agency, all 32 teams. And the spot track is so much fun to look at. Like, I want to pull that up on an episode and just look at the players. It's fun.
Hey, I'm
Okay,
all
so
for the Bears. I'm all for
So
the
I
Bears
was-
getting better as long as they don't beat the Packers. That's okay. So
Well, I get that, but I would like to win a game every once in a while. So
He's like, I want to, experience.
I want it to be a
the playoffs.
rivalry, not my team be a doormat. That's the way it feels right now. So
good point. Good point. Good point. That's funny.
And Janae, thanks for hopping on the network and all the shows you've done on here. You've been awesome too. I'm really excited for your show. I think it's going to be fun. Honestly, I would love to do this Wednesday, but I think it might be a bit ambitious with our Blitz show tomorrow, and we still got to show you how to use StreamYard. So I'm thinking next Wednesday is a safe target date.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
We got the graphics ready. So really, you gotta think of your first episode, get it ready, and we'll help you get StreamYard ready, and we'll target for next Wednesday, people.
Well,
I'll be promoting it.
I already have my first episode ready, and the topic of discussion will be the best Black films. What are your top Black films that you've seen with either an all-Black cast or a strong African-American lead?
Okay.
Well, if this episode doesn't run insanely long, maybe we'll toy with StreamYard after, and we'll talk about it. Maybe this Wednesday. Because we just got to show you to use StreamYard. It's going to take a minute. So not very long, though. It's actually pretty easy. So if you feel ready, me and Matt will talk about it off the air after.
Okay.
And if we decide to do Wednesday, we'll promote it tomorrow too. So, all right. Okay. So I was pitching free agents. Let's play a game. This will be fun. I'm going to give you guys a name, and we'll start with the Packers, and then we'll do a round with the Bears really quick. And then I want to get y'all Super Bowl thoughts, but we were on the free agency segment really quick. So we'll talk Super Bowl in a minute. I'm going to give you a name, and I want you guys to tell me if you would want him to sign for the Packers or for your team, Med.
Okay.
This is a fun one, okay? This is for the Bears.
Okay.
I think I know the answer to this.
Also, or no?
Absolutely. So this one's just for you. Would you want any of the free agent quarterbacks instead of Justin Fields? I'm just going to give you the field, all of them. So you got Kirk Cousins is the best option. Baker, if the Bucs are dumb enough to let Baker go, he's technically a free agent. So would you want any of those quarterbacks, or would you want Justin Fields, or just draft one? Those are your three options.
Right now, because I've talked about this before, is I'm always 50-50 with Justin Fields right now. Kirk Cousins, to me, he's just getting up there in age, and the fact that he had an ACL injury right now would actually scare me a little bit. Now, I do love Baker Mayfield. I just don't think the Bucs are going to actually let him go. I like the fact that he has that chip on his shoulder, that moxie that you always want. I know that he was a big fan of Brett Favre when he was a little kid and everything. In fact, during the draft, he replicated the famous Brett Favre picture where he's sitting there talking on the phone when he got drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, then got traded to the Green Bay Packers. Right now, if I just hypothetical,
Mm-hmm.
if I was the Chicago Bears,
you're the GM.
If I'm Ryan Poles, what I would do is I would trade down to either the second or third spot to ensure that I still can get a receiver of whatever I want of my choice. You have two choices: Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors from LSU. Those are your two picks. And if you were to keep Justin Fields, draft one of those guys. He's going to be in this. It's going to be his fourth year. He finally has another weapon outside of DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, and maybe see what he does this year. If you decide to let him go, I would not go with Caleb Williams. I would not go with Drake May. I would go with Jaden Daniels from LSU, because to me, he just feels like a more complete playmaker. And the fact that he played in the SEC, which is huge competition-wise, I would actually go for him.
I like it. So you wouldn't touch the quarterbacks. And obviously the Packers aren't going to do that either, unless they were to get Tyrod Taylor as a backup, but I don't think he would sign with the Packers. They could use a backup, but I think people like Clifford, so I don't think the Packers would touch him. Okay, running back. And I think this applies to both teams. Let's do Packers round first, and then we'll hit Bears. Okay. Saquon Barkley. Me and Bill already talked this. What are your all's thoughts? Packers first.
Janae, you can go first. You're a Packers fan.
So I'm aware. I'm a fan of the greats.
Would you go for him or a different target at running back?
I would go for a different target.
So the other ones I see are Jacobs, who I personally wouldn't touch, but maybe he rebounds. This is just a list. There might be other ones I'm missing. So I'll read the top 10. I got Barkley, Jacobs, Derrick Henry. That's the one I want. Eckler, I personally wouldn't, but he'd be an interesting fit if he's got anything left. He just looks a little off this year. I mean, he was really injured. It could have just been the injury. Tony Pollard for the Cowboys is a free agent. Swift for the Eagles. Dobbins, I wouldn't touch, but he is a free agent. Zach Moss, Ezekiel Elliott, I wouldn't touch. Singletary is an intriguing lower, like salary option from the Texans. Kareem Hunt and Foreman for your Bears. That's the top 12 that I see.
I would have to go. I would have to go with Henry because he has experience. We need someone else that has experience, and then we can draft a rookie that can learn from both.
Exactly what
they can combine Derrick Henry's style with Jones's style, and we'll have a dangerous, nasty running back that can take care of business if one of them were to get injured. I need somebody that's dependable. I need somebody that's willing to work. I need somebody that's fast. I need somebody that can break tackles. And Derrick Henry is the guy. Okay. Yes. And I need somebody who can come in and we don't have to be like, okay, 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. Okay. I need somebody to handle the business. Okay. That's why I think we should get somebody with experience. And then work with that, and then draft a rookie, and then have both running backs work with the rookie without attitude. Work with the rookie, train the rookie, get the rookie where he needs to be, and then we're set.
Janae, it's funny. So we did a mock draft, me, Med, and Lincoln from.
I was about to bring this up.
Go ahead. Yeah, take it. Gotcha.
No, you go ahead. I'll let you say it so that way they can look at you afterwards.
So what were the two I took? I took Braylon Allen, and who was the other one I took? Brooks, right?
You took Jonathan Brooks, Braylon Allen.
I liked my picks. Did you not like them? I got a B draft grade.
No, they're actually pretty good picks, but you picked 3 running backs in the mock draft.
I took one in like the 5th round, though. Like at that point, it's well. Here's the deal. I really liked when Rodgers was still there. I liked when they had the 3-headed monster. And if you're not going to go sign a receiver, honestly, I wouldn't spend a ton in free agency on O-line. You're not spending that quarterback. So if they're not going to spend at receiver, I don't think they need a tight end. Personally, I really don't. I like our tight ends.
I like Musgrave.
But if they're not going to go get a receiver,
both of our tight ends, they're great. They're not the problem. The problem is defense.
Well, my only problem is on offense. If we don't go running back, the other position I really do want us to go is receiver, because I think getting an established guy like T. Higgins is only going to make this receiving core better. People seem to think our receivers are going to be set. I think they're developing very nicely, but getting an established dude who's not over the hill or anything like Mike Evans, I would sign. He's still a stud. Hey, JB, we didn't get Kurt Warner. Okay, so quick side story. Me and JB were trying to get Kurt Warner to come on the show. Guys, go message Kurt Warner. If we get him on here, that'd be sweet. One day, that's my goal. So JB, sorry, not this episode. I think the Packers should draft Allen or Crum. Okay, we'll get into that. I'm gonna come to that back to that comment. But anyways, if they the receivers that are out there, guys, we need to come back to this Bears running back thing for Med. But T. Higgins is available. Michael Pittman's available. Mike Evans is available.
Yep.
Marquise Brown is available. Ridley's available. Mooney's there. Boyd. Dick. I wouldn't sign Gabe Davis. I really wouldn't. No. I wouldn't sign Michael Thomas or Chark. So I see like 7 legit weapons, but really there's like 4 really good ones. And man,
I hope this
would be a bold swing for the Packers to go spend money at receiver. They don't do this, but
I hope they
why
do.
Not? Why not?
Because, like you just said, the ones we have, they're not bad, but they're still developed youngins. They need somebody who has the experience. That way, they can guide them and mold them and shape them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree, baby. We're gonna get them.
Look what Devontae Adams had. He had Jordy Nelson.
Yep.
Yeah, the first half of his career, he did.
How Devontae Adams turned out after that.
This Chiefs team, I was shocked they were able to do this without a legit receiver. Rice was coming up, but they still have Kelsey. And I like our tight ends, but if they want to see the best out of Jordan Love, I think they either need to get him a legit. Not Aaron Jones was great at the end of the season. He was, and it proved a running game with Love makes our offense special. But he is almost 30, and we need to take some of the pressure off him if he's injured.
Yes,
and I think that's why I think the Derrick Henry thing makes the most sense. Or drafting a running back, but I honestly would do both, preferably.
Well, if you can get Derrick Henry and draft a Brooks or a Crum, dude, I mean, you're looking right there, dude.
Okay, so before we hit receiver, I got to be fair to Med. Any of those running backs you would target for the Bears?
Yeah. In fact, there's one that I would actually target for y'all too, and it ain't Henry. Really and truthfully, I was always kind of upset with the fact that we didn't use Donta Foreman at all. And if I were actually y'all, you actually get what you would get with Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, and you'd be able to spend money on that defensive line, which has been a real troublesome burden for you. Go after Chris Jones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't like your attitude.
If we get the money to get Chris Jones and we don't do anything else in free agency, I wouldn't even be upset. I'd be like, let's roll. Because Chris Jones makes plays in the Super Bowl. He's done it freaking 3 times now. He's there. He's a presence. He isn't even that great in the regular season, but he makes plays when he needs to. And that play where he pressured, this was the difference in the game, honestly. When he pressured and got in Purdy's face and made him overthrow the touchdown pass, that's one of the reasons they won the game. Because that was there. He was going to hit him. And he made him speed up and miss it.
But it's
that was a
attitude
play in the game.
I don't like.
That was a huge play.
Yeah.
It really was.
Well,
his attitude.
You want your defensive lineman to have an attitude. You want your
not like that. There's a difference between having a little attitude because you play no defense and then you just being straight up stank, and that's what he is sometimes. And it's like, bro, relax. It's not that deep, boo boo kitty. Just go out there, do your business, do your job. Don't get no penalties. Keep your temper in check because the wrong penalty at the right side of the field can help out the other team. Penalties is what kills you in the game. Period.
Yep. I agree with that.
Like, too many people are getting stupid penalties because they can't keep their tempers in check. Calm down.
So you liked, so we're going to get into the Super Bowl chat. We're kind of mixing it in. So Med, you liked Foreman, and I had him in free agency, and I had him, sorry, in fantasy, and I was ticked when they benched him, and he was on a roll, dude, and it made no sense. Herbert came back, and then they just stopped using him.
Yeah, and I mean, also to the point of Chris Jones' stank attitude, if you have 34 sacks in the past 3 seasons, you could have all the stank attitude in my mind because you're putting that stankness
you
on them.
That stank. Oh my gosh. Jason's talk about stuff on the run. Chris Jones paired with Kenny Clark.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because Kenny Clark's our only. I've talked about this. I haven't talked with him in a little bit. I'm gonna try to soon, but with Frozen Tundra, one of my things with the Packers, like everyone blames the coordinator. I'm sorry, no, we're missing some playmakers. Like I'm not on Campbell this year, especially. He looks slow. I like Slayton, but can you imagine the difference between TJ Slayton and Chris Jones is like the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Like dude, there's that's a gap, man. Chris Jones is a beast.
I have to agree with you there. It wasn't all Joe Barry. Okay,
it wasn't.
It wasn't because there was too many missed tackles. There was too many people not being where they were supposed to be, and it's just like I said, if you start deducting them paychecks every time you miss a tackle, that's money coming out your check. I promise you, because we're paying you millions of dollars. We're paying you hundreds of millions of dollars for you to do one thing: protect the ball. If you miss your man, guess what? You miss money out your check. That will stop you from not making the stops.
I love that incentive. I love that stuff right there.
Hey,
yes.
All right, Bill, I'm going to let you pick before, because I know you're going to bounce in like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Before you leave with this panel, because I might stay on with them for a little while after.
That's
what
fine,
do you want to hit? Do you want to hit Super Bowl or do you want to hit free agency? I'm going to let you pick. What do you want to do?
Can I do
you want to keep it in the free agency?
Yeah, go, Med. What, Med?
Okay, what I will say as far as the Bears thing goes, I would also agree with Janae in the fact that you don't really want to mess with the chemistry that you have with your receivers. I'm kind of jealous of the fact that you have receivers right now. It is what it is. As far as the Bears go, I would probably is Jalen Johnson, who is, according to PFR, the best cornerback in the game right now, better than Snead as far as like the coverage skills and stuff, because he catches the ball. Snead's great, knocks the ball down all the time, but he can't catch it. If they're to actually sign him, then that doesn't really leave us much money to really try to pursue a big agent. But if I was to actually have my choice and it's kind of a big risk, high reward, I would actually pursue Saquon Barkley.
It is a big risk. If the Packers were to do it, I wouldn't be upset. I think Barkley still has talent. But I think with this running back, because we would bring back Aaron Jones, I think we're going to figure something out on a team-friendly deal. And if that's why I like the Derrick Henry thing, because I thought at 30, maybe he'd take a cheaper deal and we could land him. But Barkley, even at his age, if we can get him on the right deal, that's the key. If it needs to be at a decent salary for him, but also for the team, with hopefully not a ton of guaranteed. But if we could pull it off, man, I'm with you. I actually like Barkley over Henry, considering the age.
I wish we kept them all with you.
If you guys have Fields with Barkley and you draft a receiver, there's no excuses for Fields. That would be it, dude. With Saquon Barkley, with either Marvin Harrison Jr. or Neighbors, with DJ Moore, with Komet, even with a not amazing offensive line, that team should make the playoffs if he's what we think he is. Or what he could be.
No, I agree.
Because I really do like my only concern with Eckler, because you had said it earlier, is it was the injury this last year. I need to see if he can stay healthy. He is up to I think he turns 29 this year, so he's starting to get to that age. So we'll see. But he was injured all year, so that was the other thing. Okay, so Bill, you want to keep doing free agency?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay, offensive lineman, just for sake of this, for time. Unless there's a big one, I'm going to skip if y'all are cool. There's Zeitler for the Ravens. Runyon is a free agent for the Packers, but I think they're going to let him go. There's some offensive tackles, but I don't think the Packers are going to go that route. So, Med, is there any I'm sure there is. Is there any targets for you that you want for the Bears on offensive line before we go to defense?
I think really and truthfully, we need to focus more on our Well, the offensive line, I think we need some interior linemen. I don't know any off the top of my head right at the second. I do believe Cleveland from the Jaguars would be someone that we would want to target. He's actually a pretty solid in tackle guard on the inside, but really and truthfully, we need a center. And I think the best center that we can actually get right now would be in the draft. And I can't remember his name. It's hyphenated. I do know that, but that's pretty much what it is.
Is it Jackson Powers Johnson?
That's exactly who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good pick. I like him a lot.
He's good.
Bill knows his stuff with the draft heavily. Med, we're going to do a mock. I already told him I want to do a Packer one with him, but if I can steal him one night, we'll do maybe we'll do post combine. We'll do another NFC North one, but I definitely want to do another division. I want to get Bill in on at least one of them.
Okay, cool.
Sounds
we can
good.
do me, you. I'm thinking we get Link and we do me, you, Med, and Link on one, and then we'll get my dad. We'll rotate, and we'll get my dad on another one.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to steal Bill for a Packer one. I'm excited. The free agency, Connor Williams is available at center. The Cowboys center is available. Cushenberry for the Broncos. James for the Raiders. At guard, Zeitler for the Ravens if they're let him go, which I think would be a mistake. Hunt for the Dolphins. Runyon for the Packers, who I think they might let go. Dotson for the Rams. Reisner for the Vikings. Brewer for the Titans is available at guard. At tackle, Tyron Smith for the Cowboys. They might actually let him go. Trent Brown for the Patriots. Onwenu, I'm going to say it wrong. Onwenu for the Patriots. Becton for the Jets. Those are some of the offensive linemen at free agency. So some good names actually. And then at tight end, which neither of us need, so I'm going to skip tight end. Okay, so Med, is there any scenario you'd want the Bears to spend at receiver in free agency, or would you just go draft? Because I think I know the answer.
I would go draft. I mean,
that's what I would do for y'all in your position.
I love Pittman the most because he actually had a surprisingly really good season with Gardner Minshew as his quarterback, the modern day Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I think he had 109 receptions, 1,159 yards, only 4 touchdowns, but they were running the ball a lot. In fact, another person I would say for running back for y'all or us would be Zach Moss.
I like it too. I snuck him in earlier with Bill. I don't know if y'all were listening. I said I liked him as a sneaky, solid or Singletary, but I really like Moss because I don't think the Colts can afford to keep him and Taylor.
Mike Evans is someone that I would actually pay attention to because really and truthfully, I mean, I've talked about it before. Baker Mayfield fell into a perfect situation with he had 2 great receivers and the tight end was okay, but as far as the receivers go, amazing. Mike Evans is going to be highly sought after, and I mean, a lot of people love T. Higgins, but the only question I have with T. Higgins is his injury history, and he seems to get.
The man gets hurt every time he turns a corner.
I like Mike Evans because he's reliable, even at his age. I think, even with the Packers, he looks like one of those all-time We're gonna remember Mike Evans so weird because he never was the best receiver, but he's consistently been a Pro Bowl level receiver. And because he's done it for so long, he's gonna go down as a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And he looks like the kind of guy that's gonna keep chugging. Yeah, he looks like the guy's gonna keep going. I would like that for the reason why I like Mike Evans so much for the Packers is because I feel like he would help develop the other receivers while still producing for another 2 or 3 years. And that's exactly what we want.
Yeah. We need that, Randall Cobb, that veteran experience to come in there, show him how to, make clutch catches and things of that nature.
At least this guy can play over Randall Cobb, who
I want another Jordy Nelson Jr. That's what I want. The man was a freak of nature with the ball. You see the ball go in the air, here comes Jordy Batman. Boom, there he is.
My wife,
guys. You have to do it. This is great.
I miss Jordy and I miss Devontae. Devontae, come home, baby.
Yeah.
Come home.
Jennings was fun. I miss Freeman. I miss Donald Driver. Gosh, he was good. But I really do miss Devontae Adams. He was special with the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly.
Devontae, come home, baby. We miss you. Come on back, sugar.
Yep.
Yeah, Amy used to call Jordy Nelson that booty because that's all she was enthralled with. She was like, "Does he squat all the time?" I was like, "Why are you looking at him?"
I mean,
Now, my
I'm
wife
not
told me
gonna
about a
lie, it
booty
was
of some
nice
dude.
to look
My
at.
wife told me about some dude's booty on, I can't remember. Oh, it was Christian McCaffrey. I was like, "You're looking at his booty?" She's like, "Who isn't looking at his booty?" I was like,
I mean,
"Well, I wasn't."
It's too
Like,
small for me.
thanks. Joe, what's up, dude? Hey, do you want to hop on
Devontae.
this one? I know you're coming on Blitz tomorrow. I'll send you the let me know
Rated
if you
for
want
life.
the link. I'll send it to you. Jason, I know it's not the notice you want, but if you want to hop on too, dude, I'm bringing fans on. So this is fan time. If anybody wants on, just say you want on. I'll hop off and send you the link. Okay. We're bringing people on. I like for Bill to cut up with people for a few before he bounces. And I'm capping this one at 2 hours. I've done a lot of episodes. So I wasn't even going to go that long, but I'm capping at 2 because we're still doing Blitz tomorrow. And I'm also hopping on Talking Packers with Steve tomorrow. And then after Blitz tomorrow, I'm going to record some mocks, but that's it for me for live episodes for February. I'm being good. I'm taking a break. That doesn't mean I won't be there, Janae. And if you need a guest, I can hop on for a little bit, but I'm
Gotcha.
hopping off lives. I'd
No
like to
problem.
let you cook on your first few episodes, but it's up to you.
You're always one. Stop it. You help me get this together.
I was
Isaac,
confused to know I was taking a break for February, so I'm trying to be good.
I fussed at Isaac enough.
For me,
He's
we had a
HR.
well-oiled machine.
No, I promised the wife. One night, I'm going to record 2 or 3 mocks and put them out for February, like one a week.
That's
But I like honestly, I had a lot of fun with that mock draft. That was taking running back after running back was epic. Watching Med's face and Lincoln's face, Link's face every time they were like, another running back? Back to back. And then I was like, in the 5th round, I was like, I'm taking another one. Another running back. Let's go.
I feel like I was upset when Jamal Williams was released. I felt like we should have kept Jamal and let Dylan go.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually completely agree. Even though he's kind of done now, Dylan, to me, like for how big he is, how strong he is,
He plays too soft.
Dylan to me just doesn't run angry enough. Like the way here's an example. Med brought this up, and I'm going to give Med his credit. He brought up the whole other analogy from earlier, like with Shanahan being the modern day Dan Marino of coaches, spot on. That's 3 times he's blown a double-digit lead in the Super Bowl as a coordinator or coach. But AJ Dillon, I want to see him run like freaking Marion Barber. That's the way he should run. Like
what about Eddie Lacy? Eddie Lacy was double his size.
runs.
Eddie
Lacy had a stretch, but it was only 3 years, really. And then he faded. Barber also only lasted a few years. But the way Barber ran with ferocity, Dylan at his speed, you know what? I've heard this one. Let AJ Dillon go to the Ravens. Have fun with them.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah,
Have fun. Ooh. Hey, Med, what's the new Brock Purdy record? First quarterback to lose a Super Bowl after throwing for 200-plus yards and having a 10-point lead in the month of February.
I'm weak. Oh, my.
Joe with the hot take. Like I said, Joe, if you want to hop on, and Pete's not here for you to mess with. I'm sorry.
But remember what Patricia said now. Patricia said, well, I'm not like most quarterbacks. I don't take big dollar amounts. I cut my money so I can have the weapons around me so I can do what I need to do. Well, I'm glad you admit that it's not you and that it's the weapons around you that makes you look good, sir.
Yep.
So, Joe.
And how was that interception you threw last night, Patty?
And then there's another comment. Hold on. AJ Dillon's linked to the Baltimore Ravens. I think Mike Evans will sign with the Jets.
Probably.
The Jets need to get another receiver, but the problem is they paid Lazard way too much. I don't know if they've got the money. They've got Rodgers on a cheaper deal, but I don't know if they have the money. We'll see. Like I said, 18th quarterback in the NFL.
No, he didn't.
Oh, man, in all honesty, he didn't throw a pick in the Super Bowl. Mahomes did. And I don't really put that loss on Purdy. I put on the coaches, man.
That's why I don't understand.
I really put this on. If there was a person to put it on, Mahomes is too good and Andy Reid's too good, and Shanahan and Purdy aren't on their level, and it's just that simple. Unfortunately, it really is.
But here's my thing about that though. Like, was it really Andy Reid that good, or did he just get lucky this time? Because The way that
No.
they came out at the beginning, though,
He had
I
them
was
prepared.
like, yo.
So, yes, the 49ers got ahead, but this has happened to Andy Reid 3 times in the Super Bowl. He's been down double digits. It ain't a fluke to do it 3 times. You know what it's becoming? A habit. The dude gets his adjustments at halftime. He had them aware of the overtime rules. Shanahan didn't. Kelsey, as angry as he got, and I know he bumped into him, he beat Warner on one of the key plays of the game. They kept the team close enough.
That was a
It's really Spagnuolo, too. Spagnuolo needs his flowers. He had the 49ers in check. They never broke out. Special teams really was the difference, but when it comes down to special teams, the Chiefs, to me, had a slightly inferior roster, but coaching and quarterback is the great equalizer in the NFL. And people can tell me scripted all day. It's not scripted. That was the difference. It just was. In the Super Bowl, that's such a gravity changer. And it was in this game. It really was. Bill, what do you think?
I'm thinking that, to me, the biggest difference was the quarterbacks. And not trying to knock Purdy, but you know what? Mahomes has been there several times. He's got that experience. I think that's what ultimately gave.
And Purdy didn't use his legs.
case.
I was disappointed by that. Mahomes didn't use his legs. Purdy didn't, and that was a huge difference.
Why didn't San Francisco maybe do more rollouts, escape some of that pressure, and then
because they had no creativity in their game plan. They didn't at all.
There you go.
They didn't get, except for getting McCaffrey going through the air, and Jennings had a few catches. There wasn't really a lot going on. They could have ran some trip stacks. They should have ran more motion. They needed to do as much as they could to get Snead or McDuffie picked and get Kittle the ball over the middle. And Kittle was an absolute no-show. He only had 2 catches for 4 yards. Kittle was a no-show.
About that.
Yep.
Joe's coming with a hot take. It wasn't Purdy's fault, but Shannon put the game on Purdy, and Purdy showed he's not the guy that can elevate the team. He's a product of the system and their other star players. The problem is he was playing an elite D, and they kind of played right into the Chiefs' hands by they didn't get anybody else going other than, like I said, McCaffrey through the air. Purdy didn't use his legs, so there wasn't much of an offense. Honestly, outside after the first quarter, they weren't able to sustain any drives at all. And they can let the Chiefs hang around. And with that defense and Mahomes, you can't mess around and let them stay in the game. They're going to get it done.
Yep.
All right. My hot take's over. I'm going to let y'all talk.
For me, honestly, I'm going to just keep it all the way 1,000. Okay. Obviously, there's a pattern here. Okay. How does the same coach, go to Super Bowl for the second time and gets his clock cleaned by the same team with a different quarterback? Obviously, it's not the quarterbacks that's the problem. It's the coaching.
That's kind of what I see. Well, also, and he wasn't the head coach, but Shanahan was the offensive coordinator in that Super Bowl where they were up 28-3.
Exactly. My point.
Not a good look. That's where the Dan Marino thing really comes in. It really does. Because in that one especially, all they had to do was run the ball, and a few more first downs would have eaten enough clock where Brady wouldn't have had time to do it. And instead, it kind of feels like that whole Seattle thing with Russell Wilson, where it's like in this one, I know McCaffrey had 22 rushes. He had 30 touches. So it's not like they weren't trying to get McCaffrey going.
Go ahead, man.
But it did feel a little bit like they wanted Purdy to win it.
I will agree with that, but also at the same time, you did enough Super Bowl previews with me to know exactly what I said happened.
Wait, who did you pick to win the game? I forgot.
I believe I picked the Chiefs. And
your score was almost spot on, dude.
And so, thank you. So, talking about what you and Bill were discussing earlier, and Joe, I got a little stat for you too. Patrick Mahomes also became the first quarterback to have 200 yards passing and 50 yards rushing in the second half.
Really?
I believe so.
You're coming with the stats. I like
it. He could double check that, but I think that was something that was brought up today on Dan Patrick's show. So,
I didn't get to listen to full Bill Simmons earlier. I'm kind of sad. I had that busy today.
Talent-wise, y'all are spot on. San Francisco had a by far more talented team than from top to bottom, all the way up and down. It's the coaching, but it's also the players. Coaches have the scheme. The players have to execute.
Yeah.
And when you
I
have
agree with you there.
and you have two all-pro cornerbacks that snuffed out two really good receivers in Samuel and Ayuk.
Yep.
Kittle disappeared. Now, as far as Shanahan goes, this was strictly on him. I agree with Joe. I agree with Isaac. I agree with all y'all because
it was he really
It was ridiculous. It's like, bro, you handed them the key to your Ferrari.
So when he was the offensive coordinator in Atlanta and they went up 28-3 against the Patriots, they stopped running the ball in the second half. They went 3 and out, and that allowed the Patriots to get back in. Let me finish. Then when in San Francisco and Kansas City round 1 happened, same thing. Developed a 10-point lead. Stopped running the ball. 3 and out 3 straight times. Kansas City got back in the game. This Super Bowl, same thing. Had 6 straight passes. 3 and outs.
The dude can't run.
Got back in the game. You had the mud. Different game.
Sorry, man. I was interrupting too. Now you nailed it, dude. He doesn't want to run the ball. It's like a dude he's playing Madden and he really hates running. That's what it feels like.
I've
It's
never
a simple analogy, but it really is the case. And this was not the team. Their rush defense was their weakness. And I felt like a little more creativity in the game plan. He has the weapons. He did it a few times. That stack, they only ran. I want to get the stat on this, Matt, by tomorrow. How many times did they run a trip stack in that game? Was it like 2 or 3? And it worked a couple of times they did it. They didn't use a lot of motion at all. How many times did Debo run? I want to know.
Not a lot.
3 runs for 8 yards. I mean, it wasn't working, but they could have kept going to it. Purdy didn't use his legs at all. The only threat was McCaffrey catching the ball. That was it.
That was the other thing. Is when your top playmaker, you need to get your playmakers involved. They did not get Kittle involved. McCaffrey wasn't touching the ball at the beginning of the second half. Why are you keeping the ball out of the man's hand? He was an offensive player of the year for a reason. And when you sit there and you scheme and you're saying, well, we can't run against Kansas City. You got the lead, dude. Hit the block. Make the clock an enemy as well. Time of possession will actually win you a game, and a lot of people get really caught up in the fact that it's pass happy and you can score every 5 seconds, and that is true. But if you actually have the time of possession in your favor, typically you'll win a game.
Yep.
Not only that, when you have turnovers, you capitalize off your turnovers. Okay?
Yep.
When you get turnovers, especially against a team like that, okay, you capitalize. You take care of what you need to take care of. You handle what you need to handle. Okay. You had 2, count them. And I've never seen so many missed penalties in my existence. I know that the officiating was trash this year, but it should have been on point for Super Bowl. Okay. Let's be clear. Okay. And also, what irked my soul to the existence, poor McCaffrey, he had to carry everybody on his back. That poor man. I felt so bad for him because it's like once they figured out the run game and they kept stopping that man, and I'm just like, make somebody else step up. Make somebody else do more trick plays. When you did the trick plays, it worked. Do what works. Don't just get a Ferrari and put it in the parking lot and then leave the keys in there and think ain't nobody gonna steal it. What is wrong with you? I'm gonna need Kyle to get it together, or his job gonna be on the line too. Because let's be clear, they are firing everybody. Nobody's job is safe. Okay, they are not playing. If you don't, because here's the thing, we've been here twice. Okay, twice with 2 different quarterbacks, same result. So if I was the GM, I'd be like, so sir, why should I keep you? Why?
Unfortunately, they won't let him go because they're getting to the Super Bowl at least. But
if our coach don't watch his stuff, he gonna be gone too. Because how many times we can't beat Kyle?
So you know what's interesting?
Damn the fact that y'all are friends. Handle your business. He can be your friend after you kick his butt.
I personally have got a big problem with Shanahan now that he can't get it done in the Super Bowl, but I think he bought himself at least another year or 2. Like I can't see the 49ers firing him. But, you know, there is something to be said about getting there repeatedly and having the same results. So it's going to be something to watch moving forward. It really is. But also, there's this whole thing, Med, and I haven't, no one's actually said it yet. Oh, there she is. Great analogies today. Yeah. Everyone's spot on here. I love it. Okay.
That's my mother-in-law.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah.
That's my mother-in-law.
Right there.
Hi,
Lori.
Bill's
Hi, mommy.
Hey, thanks for watching. It's really cool we got viewers in different states. Okay. There's this thing that happens in the Super Bowl. And tell me if you guys have seen it. Like I brought up the whole Seattle thing earlier. I think these coaches get caught up in who's going to be the hero. And I think Shanahan, for him, he just wants the quarterbacks to be the hero. He did it with Matt Ryan, and that's why they lost that Super Bowl, man, in my opinion. And honestly, I don't know why he did it with Garoppolo. I'd have to go back and look at that game. But they did blow that lead as well. And I don't remember them running the ball consistently either or playing clock as effectively as they could have. But honestly, there was more time on the clock there and they lost by double digits. So I think that one, they just were inferior. And Garoppolo is, I disagree with Joe. He's not, Purdy's on another plane than him by a mile. I think Garoppolo is kind of the definition of a really good game manager with excellent teams that makes just enough plays when he needs to, but not in the big, like the Super Bowl. But anyways, I think these coaches get caught up in who's going to be the hero. And I think that happened here. Your best player was McCaffrey.
Right.
And like you said, they did not get him the ball. And to me, that was one of the reasons they lost this game. Pete Carroll wanted Russell Wilson to be the hero in that Super Bowl. You know what? He threw a pick at the goal line. And they didn't run Marshawn Lynch. They didn't. And he was an all-time great at the height of his powers, and they didn't do it. And it's happened in so many other examples. I could think of several others. But there's been a lot of times teams didn't do it's the basic things you need to do in a Super Bowl to win. It's not always run, but I'm not saying that's it. Sometimes it's the opposite. But I think that unfortunately is kind of what happened here. I think he wanted Purdy to put that team on his back. And while he's very good, the guy that they should have been getting more involved and been more creative was McCaffrey. And I'm really disappointed in Shanahan because this one was there, and this is an opportunity they're never going to get back.
Well, I agree with you. Go ahead, Janae. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Bill. I'll go after you.
Well, here's my thing. Again, in the NFL, they're all elite players. I mean, they're the best in the world, okay? We can say there's a lesser team playing a better team, but any given Sunday, it's whoever players are going to play and show up. To me, the biggest thing in the NFL right now for offenses, I know we're such a pass-happy league now, quarterback-driven, but if you're balanced, if you have a run game, that opens up so many more doors. They should have kept pounding Christian McCaffrey, even if he was getting 1 yard, 2 yards. As the game wears on, and you can look at statistics, I don't have them right in front of me, but if you keep doing that to a defense, those 1-2 yards are going to keep going. They're going to be 3-4 yards, and then boom, you're going to break it. Eventually, that defense is going to wear if you keep pounding the rock at them. And then that opens up the passing game. Mm-hmm. And then if you can become two-dimensional in this league, you have a greater chance of winning a lot of games. I mean, that's just,
I mean, like John Elway at the end of his career, like they could have, and he made some hero plays, but they had Terrell Davis, and that's one of the reasons they beat the Packers, and that's one of the reasons they went out and beat Atlanta. I can think of a lot of other examples. The Patriots, I mean, when you've got a great defense, sometimes you need to run the ball effectively. That's what won Seattle their first Super Bowl, and that's what kept them from winning back to back. And they would have been the team, they should have done it against New England, and they got away from who they were. And that's what cost them winning back to back with the Legion of Boom. They should have. So that was a big mistake for them and Pete Carroll. And that, unfortunately, as good of a coach as he is, not winning that one has kind of haunted his legacy. And then recently, as good of a coach as he is. So I think these coaches get caught up in what they want to happen instead of what they should do. And I think that's definitely what happened here. And it wasn't just necessarily run them up the middle. They could have they could have bought Deebo Samuel in the backfield. They could have gotten him out in space, like they did a few times in the past game, and that's what they should have done. So why don't we do this? Why don't just Janae go, Med, let's do some closing thoughts on the Super Bowl, and then I want Bill to say whatever last thing he wants to say to the viewers, and then I'm going to do some more free agency stuff with Med tomorrow on Blitz. Sound good? So everyone's going to get another turn. So Janae go, and then Med, and then I will talk to everyone.
You said you had a question, right?
No, I'll go after you because I got basically what he brought up. I have actually a really good take on that.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I feel like, okay, it's one or two things. Okay. Everybody has to step up. Everybody has to do their job. Okay. You're the coach. But as the player, okay, if you're being coached on what to do, you have to take what you've learned from your coaches and
You keep
apply it
going. I'll be
on
right
the
back.
field.
I've had to use the restroom for a while. You keep going. You all keep going. I'll be back. I promise. You can keep
Okay.
going.
And
Go.
I just feel at this point, okay, this is getting ridiculous with San Francisco. Okay, you have gone to Super Bowl twice with the same coach again, two different quarterbacks, same results. What can you do different? What have you learned from both experiences that you can do differently? That way you can take care of business next time. But to be clear, the officiating was trash. Okay. I've never seen so many missed penalties in my life. And I'm just wondering, what is the NFL going to do next year to make sure things are done with decency and order? What do I mean by decency and order? There are too many missed calls for penalties, for bad hits, for unsportsmanlike conduct. There's just way too much going on. Too many people are getting hurt. The NFL needs to step in and do something to make things better for these players. Because look what happened with Miami's quarterback. Prime example. That man has taken so many bad hits. He's not even supposed to be playing right now. Okay, if he take one more bad hit, he gonna end up like Teddy Pendergrass in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. For real.
Tui trauma.
It's really, really bad. Like these hits, like case in point, look what happened to Aaron Rodgers when he got his collarbone fractured. And the dude who did it, Anthony Barr, stood over him and laughed and made fun of him while he was on the ground with a fractured collarbone. Like, when is the NFL gonna, like I said, when is the NFL gonna step in and make sure that things are handled with decency and order? Because there's way too much going on.
I agree. They're getting paid millions of dollars to play a game. Just play the game. You don't have to act a fool.
Play the game. You do not have to act a fool on or off the field. That don't mean go around DVing your girlfriends or your baby mamas. Don't be having your side chick and your girlfriend fighting each other. Let's just do what you're supposed to do. Do your job, handle your business, and everything will be everything. And I agree with you, Isaac, and I agree with you, Med, and you too, Bill, when it comes to like, okay, coaching and stuff. Okay, I can only coach you so much. You have to actually take the initiative and go out on the field and do what you need to do.
Yep.
Hey, really quick. I just want to say thanks for y'all for spending this much time. And Med, I'm excited to hear your take. But thanks to Jason and Joe. Joe, we're gonna have fun tomorrow. If we kind of, I haven't gotten to reach out yet. I'm gonna try. Hopefully, we'll have a fourth for tomorrow night. But Janae, good takes. You know what's funny is I didn't have a huge problem with officiating in this game, but all season it's been really bad.
That's why I said it was
like
trash.
it's been like such a discussion topic this year. We're gonna have to do a whole episode on that. But Med, what you got, man?
Yeah.
Okay. So discussing what you were talking about earlier and everything, I am a football coach. I played some semi-pro football. Very little semi-pro football. Only 2 games because my boss
dude,
told me,
that's a cool claim to fame, though, man. You played. I played freshman football 1 year. I could say I played high school football on a brand new school, and I got 0 catches in a game. And I played the most plays I played in a game was 12. Sucks.
I played left guard and defensive end all throughout high school, and I scored 1 touchdown as a tight end in a semi-pro
That's
game.
legit. Dude, that's so legit that you scored a touchdown, man.
Wow. That's awesome.
And you know why? We talked about it on air and off air. Why you quit was valid, you know?
Yeah. Guy paid the bills.
Yeah.
Semi-pro don't pay. But basically one of the things I could tell you is that whenever I coach my kids and everything, one of the things I always tell them is like, if you want to be great at something, you need to put in the work. You need to be able to study. When I did defensive ends, I always would tell them, hey, you need to not just focus on what I'm teaching you, but go home, watch some YouTube videos. Look at what Deacon Jones did. Look at what Reggie White did. Look at Hallie Long. Look at the guys that did it before you. Bruce Smith. Take pieces of their game, bring it into your own, make it yours. Now, a thing about a coach is, and I will tell my players this too, I had my past glories. I've already done that, been there, done that. On the field of battle, I want you to actually have your own glories. Now, also at the same time, football is a very egotistical sport. That's why you got people, when they pop them real hard, they're looking over down at them. Hell, I did it too. I made people's snot bubbles come out their nose and stuff like that, just like in the movie The Program. I've done that. I have CTE issues 20 years after my last game. I still get headaches. But I can tell you, as a coach, there is nothing more gloating or more satisfying when you can look at a player and said, I made him that great. That's why Pete Carroll did what he did with Russell Wilson. That's why Kyle Shanahan did what he did with Matt Ryan, and now Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo. He wanted to actually have the credit due to him, to the fact that he actually was the man that put this guy on the top when no one else could.
Yep.
And it's egotistical from top to bottom, no matter where you're playing. Either you're the star player or the guy sitting on the bench. It doesn't matter. You're going to try to be the top dog, and the dog's got to eat.
Well, unfortunately, this dog in Shanahan ain't gonna eat, because unless they get this done pretty quick under Purdy's rookie deal, it ain't gonna happen. Because the Chiefs aren't going away. The Packers are gonna be coming. The Lions are gonna be fierce this year.
It's gonna get
harder.
harder.
If the Packers play their cards right, it actually might be between those two teams. If the 49ers aren't smart, they've got to sign Purdy soon. And just like we saw with Philly and a lot of other teams, other than the Chiefs, once you pay your quarterback, it's tough. Okay. Why don't we do this? I'm going to do a little bit different because like I said, I want to be good. I want to keep it at 2 hours. It's already long. It's a little bit longer than I wanted this episode anyways. But it's fine. I'm having fun. But why don't we go around? I'm going to go last this time. I've gone first every time. Why don't you guys go around, and you'll get a chance to pitch your shows or last thoughts. Why don't we take about a minute and everybody give any last thoughts either on the Super Bowl, predictions for next year, things you want your team to do. The floor is yours, and then we'll go around, and if you want to do your show stuff now too, you can. And then I'm gonna let Bill have the last word on this one. Okay, so why don't we go Med, Janae, and then Bill, and then I'll say a little bit. Okay.
Okay. Well, first off, I want to say thank you to you, because you actually helped me come onto the video. I was audio strictly only, and now I'm doing this and I'm enjoying it.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I'm getting so much more out of the video, dude. You and Bill, Med, sorry, really quick. Med and Bill, I got to say this for all the viewers too. You two are my first two people on video, and that's been awesome. So, Med, next year, Bill wants to pull you on. We're going to do rotating, but we want to pull you on after we suck on our picks. You're going to come help fix it.
Yes.
But you two honestly, you've helped kind of keep me excited about this too, because there's a reason I'm taking a break. I probably wouldn't have pushed for a break as hard if the last few weeks hadn't been so hard. But you've helped keep this Podcast Boys thing going, and all the work you've been doing behind the scenes. Like, I've done the promotion, which has taken a lot of time as well, and some of the thumbnail crap with recently. Yeah. But you've done all the graphics and all the stuff to get it set up on the back end.
Thank you.
So hopefully we can monetize and get paid.
Yeah, because and I fully understand, of course, with what happened to you in your personal life, that it's a tragedy. I lost a parent too, so I understand exactly how you feel. This is a lot of work.
I know. Next year I got to be better, more balanced with it.
Yeah. Typically with my show, when I actually research, now I don't think my co-host does as much as I do, but I probably spend about a good 4 to 5 hours on each episode researching material and everything like that.
Me too.
And it's definitely a labor of love for those that are actually watching us right now. I don't know if you have any more, but sometimes
9 people are watching right now.
9 people. Hi, 9 people.
Yeah.
But
I'm not even one of them right now, actually.
it's gratifying that we can actually bring what our passion is, what we enjoy doing to you. And it at the end of the day, if y'all want to ever like comment, please, by all means, come see me at Shots. Go see Janae at the Queen of the Premiere. See us. You're going to see all of us at one point on one spot, which is the Podcast Boys Network. You can find us on Facebook. You can find all of us on Facebook, really. Just, if you ever want us to discuss something, we'll discuss it. I mean, at the end of the day, the whole reason why we do this is for opinions and nonsense, and it's fun.
And there's a reason I want to cap it at 2 hours, because I want to talk to Bill something off the air too. Yeah. So I'm trying to keep him on for a reason, because I want to ask him something off the air. So that's why I'm going to be good and keep it at 2 hours. Med, dude, you've been the best. Seriously, you've helped make this even better. I want to get my own show. Jason, Med will not let me add new shows right now. I'm not allowed, but possibly in the fall, once we've got everything flowing.
I will tell you this, Jason.
It's tough.
It's really tough. We'll talk to you if you're really serious, and me and Isaac will sit down like we did with Janae, and we'll discuss it with you, because I straight out laid it out for her. I was like, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen, and this is what you need to do. And
then I was like getting excited about somebody else. He's like, dude, we got to get our shows set.
I want to build us up, but at the end of the day, the reason why we do this is it gives us a temporary break from the madness that is in this world. And that's for all of us.
And he's a Packer fan, so I'm going to bring him on. Let's see how let's that'll be a good audition. I really would like to start getting team-centric shows, but we also want to kind of branch out of just football, something me and Matt have talked about too. That's we've got some ideas.
Oh,
Matt, anything else?
No, I'm done. Like NHL, but I'm done.
I'm hoping the kids, the two youngins, can do that MLB thing. That'd be really smart. But because they've already done their show, so I'm hoping they can. We'll see. All right, Janae. This is time for Queen of the Premiere. Any Packers thoughts? Anything? Like we will be doing Blitz tomorrow, so you'll see what thought I can comment. But what you got?
Well, my homie Med already shouted me out. Queen of Premiere is gonna be good, and I'm gonna hook my homie up. I'm gonna do a whole special on Marvel.
Oh,
just for him.
Wait, what? Marvel? When?
Yes.
Which episode is that gonna be?
Right after my first episode. That'll be the second episode, guys.
You know what's funny is I've actually not seen the most recent Marvel movies because they look terrible.
I know I have to catch up.
The problem is they kind of lost me after Endgame. And there's been some great ones, like Spider-Man No Way Home was fantastic. I like Shang-Chi. Guardians 3 was great, but it's been so hit or miss. It's like DC now. What are they doing? They have no direction anymore.
I'm gonna make this more interesting. I'm gonna do Marvel versus DC.
You should get me and Matt on for that. You should get me and Matt on for that. You should even try. I should try to talk my wife into it because she's a huge DC
I'm gonna have you guys on. What you mean, y'all got people?
So mad about James Gunn right now and him crapping on DC and everything he's done the last year. She loves Henry Cavill. If he walks in the door, I don't think she'd leave me, but she would stop staring.
Do it when you're free and when Isaac's free. And Bill, if you want to hop on and join the party.
Okay. Just send me the link. Send me the link. I'll be there.
Yeah. You should, if your son's home, you should try to get him into it on that episode.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what.
I got one more thing I got to pitch at the end. Sorry, go ahead.
I do know one guy that actually has a movie and comic book show, and I could actually talk to him for you as well.
That would be great. That'd be awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Nice, dude.
All right, sorry.
Oh, you're good. And also, as far as like the Super Bowl goes, okay, Ursher was the show. Ursher, man, you did your thing, boy. Like, I mean, you pushed the 50. The man was on skates, okay. Okay, he had HBCUs out there. He had Kappas out there. He had dancers. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Yeah. We had Alicia Keys out there. Like it was really good. It was. I mean, I enjoyed. Again, the game itself. I thought it could have been more interesting. I was expecting a lot more out of San Francisco and the Chiefs. I was expecting like something of the clash of the Titans. I wanted somebody to release the Kraken. Nobody released the Kraken. Reba
Defenses
McEntire.
stepped up. Janae, do you think it was the defenses? Because I really feel like
I
the
feel like the
coaches had a
defense made
solid
the
game
game
plan.
if it wasn't for
But the
either's
49ers,
defense.
the 49ers D really agreed. People, what did you guys think of the halftime show?
I loved it.
Drop in the comments.
Loved it.
Shots. I'm gonna leave that comment up.
Oh yeah.
I thought the defense is really, really, really. Hold on. Lori Bill has left an awesome comment. Pull Dennis in for hockey discussions. We need. That's.
You know what? My father-in-law, he's a avid Stars fan. He was a season ticket holder ever since they moved from Minnesota to here. Yeah,
That would be great for y'all, especially the NHL.
He knows. If we do a hockey, definitely he knows a lot about hockey. Trust me. So
I'm kind of thinking. I don't know. We need to get Janae's going, and I need to give Matt a break because every time we get a new show, it costs me hours on the promotion and everything, and then it costs him probably double in the upfront on the graphics and stuff. So I think we're gonna just get Janae's going show for now. I kind of would like. I mean, I might be speaking for Matt. I'd kind of like to try the NBA and NHL one next season. I might do some NBA specials for the fun football, some pre-records. But I think we're going to probably launch those for next season because it's already mid-February. We've only got 4 months, like 2 more months of season and playoffs. Yeah. But I might be speaking for Matt. I just think that's probably where we're at.
But next year, if we do the NHL, trust me, my father-in-law, he's a wealth of knowledge on the NHL, so he would be
in the future. That is our goal. We want to hit every sport, and I think we're going to have him on 2 separate networks. So, Janae, I didn't want to. One of the kids told us about the algorithm on YouTube, where it messes up if you do entertainment on the same one with sports. So I think what I'm going to do, I need to talk with Matt about it. I think we're going to throw yours on one that's going to start building our entertainment channel. But it's still going to be on the same Twitter, and it's still going to be on Facebook, just for YouTube because it screws with their algorithm. And I want your show to take off, and it won't if it's with the sports, and all of them won't. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create, we'll talk about it, but that's what my plan is, just so you know.
No
and future entertainment shows will go on that one.
No problem.
All right. Janae, do you have anything else?
I love working with you guys. You guys are a breath of fresh air. I love the realness of it all. I love the fact that we can get up here and we can talk, football, and we all respect each other's point of views. I think respect is key, and if you're going to work with people, you have to respect them and respect their space.
Janae, we love you too. We respect you a lot too.
Tell him to talk to us and we will seriously listen to him. Let's do it, Bill. I agree. I'm just trying not to dump. I might have to take a graphics one from Med. Do any of you follow Tom Grossi? I don't. Does anybody else here? I've been starting to follow more Packer podcasts. Jason, that's what I had in mind for you because I was thinking about doing a Packer one I could hop on with you. A Packer exclusive one in the future.
On my first episode, when I said about the black films, I also want to do music too. I want to do what is your best R&B and soul singers.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I like that. Oh, I know. Usher's going to make that list.
Like Aretha Franklin?
It could go from anybody from Muddy Waters to Sam Cooke. It could go from Bobby Womack to the Spinners. It could go from the Stylistics to Blue Magic.
Okay.
Interesting. All right. I like it. Bill, the floor is yours, sir. Unless you want me to go and you go last, I don't care. It's up to you.
No. I just want to say, again, thank you guys too. You guys are great making this real. My first degree was radio, TV, film, and so it never panned out. But this is now I can actually use my degree, my first degree anyway. So I appreciate that, guys. and just, we're having fun and got to meet new friends. So this is great. And it's great talking, football, sports, entertainment. Janae, you're going to have to kind of get me up to speed a little bit on some of the entertainment stuff. So I'm a little novice in that part, but I'll be interested in hearing some of that stuff. So, and I'll jump on. Thank you. You send me the link and I'll click on and I'll join in. So that'll be great. But no, I think, I think this was great. It's really helped me, I think, really understand the game more by talking with you guys. You guys are very knowledgeable. I'll be admit, I don't really sometimes follow the stats as much and all this kind of stuff, but it's got me a little bit more involved. And so I appreciate, as a former teacher, learning. I always taught my kids to be avid learners and to keep growing. And so this is kind of given me a new spark to keep learning and growing. So I appreciate that, guys.
Yep. All right, guys. I'm gonna say thank you for an awesome. Ooh, hold on. Let's get Lori's comment. That's pretty cool. We own vinyl on all R&B artists today. Will he loves jazz. His son plays the yeah.
Oh
yeah.
My son, he loves jazz. He loves jazz. He can come on and he can talk jazz. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he would be a really good person. He's really into it. It was really cool when my wife met him. We had a lot of fun. Oh, and that's what I was going to pitch. Me and Bill, I'm going to meet up with Bill in March or April, and we're going to do it. Med, you'll have to hop on for this one. We're going to do me and I don't know if I can talk the wife into hopping on too, but I'm going to do a live show with Bill. It's been long overdue. So we're going to do that for either free agency or the draft. We'll talk about it. So it'll be coming. But guys, I'm going to be good and keep this at 2 hours. So I'm going to make this quick. Thank you for an awesome. This is 41 episodes of this, and it's just a number. But when I look at over 12,000 video views of a show that just started 4 months ago, that shows me something's working. It's February? So basically, with the hiatuses, basically 4 months, because I mean 5 really, but not even. That's nuts. And then like when I look at the video views over 100,000, shows me something's working. So we're going to continue to try to make it awesome. I think me and Bill are going to toy with the format for the fall, and I think we're going to do some pre-records. I might be out for a few episodes, and I got an idea for Bill. I'm going to pitch him in a minute, but I'm very excited for the fall. I'm going to bring in lots of guests on the show. We're going to continue to try to build up the Blitz show with Med, which has been a lot of fun as well. And we're going to have that Fantasy League one in the fall. I hope you all come check it out. But I'll be back on lives in March and April, and I'll have some pre-recorded episodes for y'all. If you want another one that you haven't seen, go check out our mock draft from last week. It's awesome. Lincoln knows his stuff. Med knows his stuff. I know running backs. And thanks, everybody, for helping making this season fun. It is a lot of work, but it's actually become kind of therapeutic the last few weeks, being able to talk openly on the air. So I appreciate it. To be honest with y'all, this is the toughest loss I've ever had, and being able to talk about it and learn how to communicate even more effectively on the air has been really good for me. Something I'm going to continue to work on. Doing a bad job tonight, I know. I've been taking turns, but something I've been trying to work on, and I'll continue to try to improve for y'all. And I hope that you guys return with us in the fall and in March and April for some more episodes. I want to continue to grow this thing. Hoping in the future we can see some sponsors. I'd love to bring more fans on the show. If you're interested in either coming on an episode, reach out. We've got an email or via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or TikTok. But hopefully next year, this time we're talking about the Packers in the Super Bowl. So for season 1 of the Fun Football Podcast, we'll be back with episode 42 live in March. But I'm taking a break, and I'm going to cut it at 2 hours. So thank you to all the people who left comments, who have watched the show, who have reached out. I appreciate it. If you guys can stay on for a second, I won't take more than 2 minutes or so. Sure. But thank you to everybody for watching. Thanks, guys, for joining. And this is episode 41 of the Fun Football Podcast. And this one and the last few have been thank you to the wife and to my Aunt Julie who passed. So I appreciate it, guys. See you soon.